All right, so I thought I would give a little update on what was going on. And so I don't know if I want to have this audio in. Nah, I don't want to hear it. This is my first proposal. I did to the Food and Nutrition Conference Expo. Submitted it. As you can see, this is the preview of the final proposal. I like the title: "History of Ice, Fire, and Physics: The Dissolution of Calories." My second book is going to be a title similar to this. And it should come out just about probably right before this, depending, or at least it'll be almost done before this. Should be close to being done, and so should like the first section. Anyways, I decided to do it under professional standards and advocacy. I don't know if I want to go over this so much on this whole process. Here's what I'm going to do. This first part is going to be about the theory and how this helped, and the second part is going to be about the process of how I applied for this and all this stuff, and like the session details. You could read it here. It's, I think it's pretty good. I'll go over this at the end. But let's go into, this is the preview stuff. Okay. So, this is the theory. I guess we kind of go into the whole thing. So, we're going to start the game with just trying to, and you could do this at home if you want. If you had to choose one, what is more important to measure, calories or grams, nutrients? And so my assumption here is that a lot of people are going to choose calories, and we will see, hopefully, but they'll do grams, nutrients, but we will never know until we get there. And it's going to be the auction results, hopefully, so that way they can change their answers as we go. As this lecture continues, and so we could see where in this lecture maybe you're convinced to be like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, which would be great feedback for me. And then we go into the first 3 questions. All right, so then these are going to just be true false questions. They don't have effects on the auction. The first one is calories are units of heat measurement, just to kind of remind us where we're all at. And this one is true. And the second one, nutrition ultimately measures of health of the body. Hopefully, I think we can all agree on this one. I know I'm being very leading on this already. Number 3, calorie measures the health of the body. Yeah, this is why it's going to be more important to actually just ask these questions. The true or false, calories are units of heat measurement. And we get, as people say, yes, that's awesome. You didn't know calories are a heat measurement. Ooh. I guess I should have a slide for that. This is good development. And then the nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. I believe that's what we're here to do. And then calories measures the health of the body. That's the question we're going to investigate today. So we're going to turn this into the reverse Q&A. And so we're going to ask the audience, what health or nutrition information do we get from measuring calories? And yeah, I expect people to say that calories tell us, how much energy is in food and how much energy we need to use. That way we can maintain a healthy weight. But I don't expect it to go further beyond that. I'll say, okay, well, what else besides that? Maybe something about maintaining a healthy body temperature, which would be that's actually more correct than you think, unfortunately. I guess I should have a 4th question here. It's going to say, does the body burn calories? It's just going to be the 4th question. Its answer is no. Physically, does the body burn calories? Answer is definitively false. I kind of like how this is going first. Maybe I should put that down here on QQB3. Calories were applied as nutritional measurements before the discovery of ATP, which is definitively true. And true or false, calories were applied as traditional measurements to the USDA guidelines the same year the electron was discovered. Depending on your sources, this is true, so I'm saying true, because it's close enough. And then I guess I just don't need that third question, that fourth question. Calories unit of heat measurement. It's true. I just have a slide after that explains that real quick. After that says true. True or false, ultimately nutrition measures the health of the body. That has to be true. Has to be true. By the definition. That's philosophical. And third, calorie measures the health of the body. And then we go into, alright, so what health information do we get? Your weight loss and energy. It should be, I think question 1 here afterwards should be, do we physically move by combustion? And just to have that question here, I gotta go change this. I'm gonna open up a new, I'm gonna change this real quick. So I changed that. This is going to be changed. There's another question here. So after this, then here the electron was discovered. So then we'll dissect the question. Why do we need to measure energy? How is energy manifested? Bleeding edge understanding. So energy is this concept of like that we can move things, or that things move. It's an observational phenomenon. And we define it in a lot of different ways. Like we understand that like heat can make paper rise. And but we also now understand that like electricity can generate energy. And water can generate energy. Kinetics, the action of movement, generates energy. Microwaves generate electromagnetic energy. We have what we assume to be the fundamental forces. And even some of those are might be more related than these boundaries infer. So the question is, how do we move? That's the energy that we care about. And what we have discovered over the last 100 years is that this is electromagnetic forces. These are molecular mechanics driven by electron action. And so we move by this very intricate model of electrons, of electrochemical reactions. And so does it really make sense to say that we burn calories? While combustion is an electrochemical, it's a chemical reaction. It is not an electrochemical reaction. It does not generate energy from the gradient of positive and negative ions. It only generates energy from the chemical exchange of elements. Yeah. Instead of creating like a field of like electrical differential potential as like nerves do, or as electromagnetic forces do in your body. different gradients and such. So it doesn't make sense to burn calories. And we could take this across the different types of validity. And so there are several different types of validity. There's ecological, which is my favorite. And there's external validity, which gives the most value to this question because the outputs are the same. Well, external validity, I guess we should just do the types of validity, and then while we're going over this, we're going to show where validity comes into play. We'll go over the types of validity. Go over the big five. Criterion. Well, I guess we could just skip to the ones that are focused. We're going to focus on two types: external and ecological. External means it appears to measure what it seems to measure from the outside sources. And ecological means what happens in the lab is just like what happens in real life. And what calories have is an interesting case because they appear to have external validity in the sense that we move by combustion. But it does not have ecological validity, where we actually do this as we have discovered over the last 100 years. And that date is important. The date is important because remember, and we'll come back to this, calories were applied as the guidelines the same year that electrons were discovered, 125 years ago. And so when we go back to this question, are calories, let me actually pull it up. Let me go back to this question. Okay, let's see what I've been working on. Ugh. Well, and so, okay, so energy, the ability to move things. Energy is not just one thing. You can take the motion of bodies, like from water to generate electricity. You can It's just complicated. Because we can do all these things, it is clear that we are better understanding what energy is now compared to any other time in history. And this is because we understand the atom and molecular motion better than any other time in human history. And this is important because this is how we move. How we move is electromagnetic. Molecular, electromagnetic. Let's go over this hydraulic. Now it makes better sense. Internal combustion, ecological lab. And we come back, calories are applied, nutritional measurements, the USD guidelines, same year the electron was discovered. True. So when we come back to question 1, definitively false if I combine. Alright, really good intro. Can I do it in 5 minutes? Put it on the clock. Alright. Start. Alright, thank you guys for being here. Quickly as I can, we're going to start with the game. Here's the question. You had to choose one, which is more important to measure, calories or grams of nutrients. Go ahead and answer now. If you're new to the auction, what you're going to do is take your beepers, and if you're new to the auction, I guess I should start with that. If you guys are new to the auction, please go to this website, get this started before we get started. Have a lot to go over. And so if you want to play the game, please log in early and we will begin. So we're going to start with this auction. We're going to have a quick we're going to start with a quick question. If you had to choose one, which is more important to measure in nutrition, calories or grams nutrients? Grams nutrients. And so this auction is going to go on during this conversation, and you're more than welcome to adjust your betting as you go. And you can hedge your bets on which one is more important. Obviously, by the title, you could hedge your bets, but I hope you start off with just doing your instinctive, what you do in professional practice. Kind of hedge your bets that way. So you go over this. It's already during 30 seconds. So now we could do the these are the results, early polling from the auction, as you can see. That's great. We're going to move into some Q&A real quick, and we're going to do true or false. Calories are this is just to help warm up our brain, get us all refreshed on everything. Calories are units of heat measurement. True or false? I'll give you time, 20 seconds to answer. Remember, you're not being graded on this, don't worry. We can all get in this and get out. Okay, go on to the next question. True or false? Nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. We'll see. True or false? Get an audience poll. We'll see how you guys do, what you guys think. And third question. Calories measure the health of the body. You can think about this one if you get a little bit quieter. All right, and we're going to tally these results. As you could, first question: calories used to heat at the measurement. This is true. Got 99.9% got this. 95% of this people got that right. It's fine. True or false? Nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. 99.9% of people agree. This is true. That's correct. 3. Calories measure the health of the body. We got 82%. It's a little bit of a drop off. That's interesting. So let's do a little Q&A here real quick, and let's ask the question. What health or nutrition information do we get from measuring calories? So we got a few minutes to ask this question. Yes. It tells us how much energy we get and how much like weight control, or how it helps us control our weight. Cool. So it helps, and because it helps us control our weight, it helps us control other health things. So by controlling weight, we control health aspects, is the essential argument for calories. And it does relate to the energy we produce. So it's not really the calories that matter, it's whatever causes us to gain or lose weight that matters more than we just assume that it's calories. And so let's get on to the next section. All right, let's start this next question. You move physically by combustion and thermodynamics, right? So calories say. So if that's how you move, true or false? Number 2, calories were applied to nutritional measurements before the discovery of ATP. Heads are gonna start turning here. This is where things get interesting. All right. Number 3, calories were applied to nutritional measurements in the USDA guidelines the same year the electron was discovered, 1897. True or false? so we're gonna get these answers. We're gonna do these in reverse order. So calories were applied as nutritional measurements to the USDA guidelines the same year the electron was discovered is true. 1897. That's the year both of those were invented. And ATP was discovered in 1929 in the structure about 30 years later. So this is definitively also false. We didn't know about ATP when we had calories in nutrition. And so this first question, you move by combustion in thermodynamics. That's the question. And so before I get to this answer, which I've already kind of answered, we're going to dissect this question about energy. Why do we need to measure energy? How is that energy manifested in our bodies? And what's the bleeding on edge understanding? This has already been 5 minutes. So I have to do all of this in 5 minutes. Okay. Energy is the ability things to move, and it's not just one thing. It is how I'm gonna delete this because it seems like I'm good. How to generate electricity. We can use how to generate electricity as our criteria. So we can use motion like hydraulic. We can use heat like steam to move turbines, which is also motion. Like essentially energy seems to be like this concept of motion. Nuclear, which is like about fission or fusion. And it's different from heat, but can generate heat because heat is technically of in space. Is heat also the radiation transfer? It is nuclear energy. First. Okay, so I get through the first part in about 5 minutes. Gotta get through dissecting this question. 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes, it's 10, 20, 30. Okay, so then I got an extra 20 minutes to spend in between these. So that's 12, 12, 12, 36, 46. Okay. This is great. Alright, well, I got that intro done fucking cleanly. Okay. Alright. 118, I'm going to start it from the beginning, see if we can get this down to here in 10 minutes. Okay. And first up, we have our first speaker, Austin Sherbino. Hey guys, thank you. We'll be doing an auction to start. If you haven't done it before, please we're gonna start as fast as we can. We only got about 30 seconds to start opening bids. You could bid in any time during, and so, or I don't know how it runs, but here's the question to bid on: which is more important? You're gonna bid more on calories, or you're gonna bid more on grams of nutrients to measure in nutrition? If you had to pick one, which one are you gonna measure more of? Go ahead and get started on that. I'm gonna give you some time. Just to get ready, warmed up. Let me catch my breath and breathe. So we're gonna get into a Q&A after this. True or false? Calories are units of heat and measurement. We can do show of hands. True or false? Or we'll do the answers at the end. Before we go on each. So question 2, true or false, nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. Number 3, calories measure the health of the body. First one, calories are units of heat of the measured body. Raise your hand if you think that's true. And that is true. Calories are a measurement of the heat, and so this is how we got that. We will be going over this more later on. Question 2. nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body? Raise your hand. That is true. That philosophically, from the definition, has to be true. Has to be true. So, third question. Calories measure the health of the body. This is what we're going to be investigating today. First off, we got to get them to raise their hands first. Raise your hand. Okay. Already been 5 minutes. Okay, starting again now. As quick as we can, we're going to start with this auction. You're going to measure in the grams of calories or grams of nutrients. We'll start that bidding now, and you could change your bid as we go along. We are also going to go into these questions. First off, calories are units of heat measurement. True or false? I looked at the wrong clock. I've only been talking for like a minute. I thought that was 5 minutes just to get through that first question. It blew my fucking mind. Okay, starting over at 1 minute 18. Give myself time to breathe. Introducing Austin Sherbino. He's going to talk about ice, fire, physics, the dissolution of calories. Thank you. To get started, we're going to do this little concept auction. So if you want to be a part of this, please, that'd be great. We're going to start by answering this question. This is the first question we're going to auction off. If you had to choose one, what is more important to measure, calories or grams of nutrients? So you have to pick one for your health and nutrition. Pick one. And see this early auction. A little bit of results. Let me catch my breath and settle in here for a second. Right after this, we're going to get started on 3 questions. I'll do a little reverse Q&A, and then we'll have another set of questions, and then we'll start getting into the lectures. That way you guys can feel like we can all be on the same page. Okay, so this is how the first auction is lighting out. And we're going to get started on the questions. First question, true or false? Calories are units of heat measurement. Guys, 20 seconds to answer that. We will be moving quickly, so get ready. We'll be moving on to the next one. True or false? Nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. I'll give you guys 20 seconds. 10 more seconds, halfway. We will be moving on. Coming up to the third question. Here we go. Calories measure the health of the body. Halfway. Gonna start talking here. You got 5 more seconds, but the Q&A results. We're gonna start with the first one. Calories are units of heat measurement. This one is true. This is what they are defined as. Nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. This is true. Hopefully, philosophically, this is exactly where we want to be. And calories measure the health of the body. This is the question we are going to investigate today. So I want to open up the floor and do a reverse Q&A and to qualify this question. So what health information do we get from measuring calories? Yeah, energy, we use it to measure weight loss, and then from there we can measure like different other health implications from weight loss, and there's other diseases associated with lack of energy. Is it lack of energy, or is it lack of a certain kind of material? Like protein energy metabolism disorder, isn't that just a protein deficiency disorder that is also associated with this lack of energy, this concept of energy? Oh, we got time. I set aside some time for this. So got 2 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna do a little back and forth. I'm gonna ask you. We got one, maybe two more. Anyone else? I have a question for you about it. Yes. We measure calories because measuring the amount of energy we produce is an important measurement that we can use to determine health. Measuring energy is important to determine health. I can agree with that. If there was a different way to measure it besides calories, do you think that we could get there? Okay. Cool. So let's move on to the second set of questions. True or false? You move physically by combustion, right? Because if you move by heat, so calories say you move by combustion. At least that's what some people have said in the past. True or false? Calories are applied as nutritional measurements before the discovery of ATP. Hopefully we can get this onto something about combustion. I think I should stay away from the materials because I want to draw them into that combustion mentality. You use energy to produce. So energy is important. You're right. It's supposed to be thermodynamics. You move by thermodynamics, right? That's got to be the lead into this question because you move by thermodynamics, right? It's all thermodynamics. Let's talk about it. I kind of wasted a minute, giving myself an extra minute. That's 5 minutes though. It's 5 minutes and I got through it. That's the final questions. Yeah, that's good. All right, next set, 5 minutes. No, it has to keep going. The second question. So energy is like the ability to move things. It's not just one thing. We use generating electricity as like a criteria. Motion of hydro, use heat to move steam turbines. Heat is the motion of a molecule or an atom, and to increase or decrease that motion is how we describe heat. Nuclear is the difference from heat. It produces heat, but it's the combination of breaking atoms. Is different from just the jiggling. Heat can produce that, and that can produce heat. They help each other out. Electricity is driven by a gradient. It's a little bit different. It also could produce heat, but electricity is driven by electrons trying to move into a different gradient. There's a polarity and they want to move across a field. And that can create things like lightning, which uses a lot of heat, but it's not the same. And we have things like microwave ovens, which is generated from electricity, and it's electromagnetic, which is the same as light, but it's not the same as like that physical electricity, but it is the same as that physical electricity. That's a little bit more complicated. As you can see, we have we could see that there's these different forms like lightning electricity, microwave electromagnetic radiation, nuclear energy, heat energy just by the jiggle, which is a chemical energy, really. It's not nuclear because chemical energy is about breaking the bonds, and nuclear is about breaking the atoms, and electrical is about gradients. So that helps us. Okay, got this. All right. So, you move physically by combustion. Um, Calories are applied. We're going to do this in reverse. So, calories are applied with nutritional measurements to USDA guidelines. The same year electron was discovered. That is true. Calories were nutritional measurements before they're discovered by ATP. ATP was discovered in 1929, which makes question 2 true. You move physically by combustion. And that is what we're going to answer after we dissect the question of what is energy. So we're going to dissect this question. Why do we need energy? And how do we need to measure energy? And how is that energy manifested? Energy is the ability to move things. Energy is not one thing. But we can use energy. We can use how to generate electricity as a criterion. Motion of hydro turns the turbines. Generates electricity. The heat moves steam turbines, and that generates electricity. Heat is the motion of a molecule or atoms, and to increase or decrease that motion is heat, and typically comes with the breaking of bonds between atoms, breaking molecules, but not breaking of atoms. And it doesn't always have to break down molecules and atoms either. And it typically comes with the breaking of bonds between atoms. Okay. 31. presenting, Austin. All right, thank you. Let's start today with a concept auction. You had to choose one, which is more important to measure in nutrition. Or nutrition, calories or grams of nutrients. You can go ahead and start on this question. Right after this, we're going to be moving into a set of questions, then we're going to do a reverse Q&A, and then another set of questions, and we'll start getting into the main lectures. That way we can kind of get us all on the same page. So here are the early results of the calories are units of heat measurement. First question. So, true or false? Calorie nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. True or false? And calories measure the health of the body. True or false? Maybe we could do these all at the same time, save us a little time. All right, here are your answers. Calories are units of heat measurement. That is true. Here they are in different reference forms. Nutrition ultimately measures the health of the body. This is also true. It has to be for the definition for the field that we work in. And calories measure the health of the body. So that is the question we're going to investigate today. So we're going to start with the review. First Q&A. What health or nutrition information do we get from measuring calories? We'll get that first part done. This all done in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, which gives me 6. No. Ooh, I really hope this is 90. And if it's not, I'm just gonna have to cut. Leaving in this first part. This dissecting question has to be so concise. It's saving time here and here. Then this. This. Boom this. And not the Okay, let's see if I get this done in 5 minutes. Okay, and so we'll answer, do you move physically by combustion, after we dissect this question. Why do we need to measure energy? How is that energy manifested? So energy is the ability to move things. Energy is not one thing. We can use electricity. How do we create electricity as a criteria? Do it by kinetic energy with hydro, motion, things moving. We do it by heat, steam turbines, which uses heat to create kinetic energy. And heat is the motion of a molecular atom. And it typically comes with the breaking of bonds between atoms, but not the breaking of the atom itself. Although if you do get it hot enough, your atom will break, but at that point we call that nuclear energy. So it's not the motion of the molecule as a whole, but it's the internal energy of the molecule as it's stable. Nuclear energy is the energy of breaking and destroying the atoms, which is related to heat. Describing this heat, making a clear distinction is very difficult. Okay. Right, that sounds better. Oh wow, I got through that wave. I got through that whole thing in like. I can get through this first. 15. And 20, 30. Okay. Oh, in 2 hours. Looks pretty good. Yay. Where did I? I'm getting all my notes mixed up. Ooh. Yeah. Bro. I'm gonna submit this thing like 100, but submit it again. Okay. I guess next time we'll go over more about this. Oh. Hello, viewer. I'm getting off though.